All right, what's up, guys? I'm sure y'all can tell by the title and the thumbnail of this video, we have a very big problem to address today on the channel. So I just had my white truck towed home a couple days ago. I was out hanging with some friends, started it up, and all of a sudden we have a bad sound coming from up front. I'm not sure if it's like a ticking or a knocking sound. It's kind of in the middle. I've got a little clip of it. I'm gonna throw it in right here. Yeah, so as y'all guys can see, it doesn't sound like anything too good. We were just hanging out at the car wash. A couple of friends were washing their trucks off. Started mine up. I was gonna go across the road to the gas station, but whenever I started my truck up, it sounded like that. It had driven fine all day. I was about 70 miles away from home. I was driving it pretty hard like I normally do. Everything seemed fine. It drove like normal. Oil pressure was good, coolant temp was fine. So I'm hoping it's not a really big issue. It doesn't really have any leaks. I haven't looked into it too much before now, but I have thought about it a ton. It's the only thing I really think about because I've built my whole YouTube channel off this, my TikTok. Every platform I have is based off of this truck. We do have the blue truck now. If you haven't seen that video, we do have another cat eye on the channel. Definitely go check that out. I'm crossing my fingers that this is something like a bent push rod or maybe a lifter. I know these LS motors have a bunch of lifter issues. So as much as I don't want to do this, we are going to start it up one last time. I'm going to try to listen to what side of the motor this sound's coming from. And this is the very last time I pop this hood with this OEM plastic latch because the guys over at LGBillet sent me a new product out. At the time I'm recording this is not on the website. They sent me an unreleased product so I could have it and post it whenever it is released. We have a couple products from them already, and I'm excited to add this to the collection. I think this will be an easy install, just one nut there, and then attach the hood latch cable inside there. This does have a spring inside, so this is the full assembly, not just the lever. If y'all are interested in this part or any interior billet parts for your Chevrolet truck, I do have my link in the description of this video, and I appreciate LGBillet for sending this out to me. Let's get this thing put on real quick and then go back to the motor work. First thing we'll do is take off this panel right here so we can get to this kick panel and take it off also. Ignore my wiring job and then take off this 13mm nut right here. After that, take it off the wall and then remove this hood latch cable. And this thing can go in the trash. Open up the brand new latch from LGBillet. Y'all can see it's the full assembly, has a spring in there and everything. Just gonna put the nut right there in that hole. And then the cable right there. The cable is back in. We're going to put it on this stud, tighten it down, put the panels back on, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And just like that, looks better than new, works better than new. You'll never have to buy another one again. If you guys are interested in these, I think they're $125 on the website. They just dropped Friday. Thank you, LGBillet, for sending this out. If you do want one, the link will be in the description to their website with my code, so that when your truck breaks down, you got something cool to pop your hood with. Let's start this thing up real quick and hope that it doesn't blow up. I don't know how well that came through on camera, but it sounds terrible in person. And it sounds like I'm going to be poor. Really, really poor. But no matter what it is, I'm not taking it to a shop. We're going to take it apart right here on the channel. I'm going to take y'all with me and hopefully learn a thing or two. I do think that it might be a push rod or a lifter on this side. So first, this valve cover is going to come off, and then we'll see if we can find anything in there. All right, so the valve cover is off. Everything looks really clean in there, especially in the top side. I mean, they're still very clean from where I cleaned them off the last time I had these off doing the cam kit. I think I'm gonna start it up one last time, see if the sound got a little bit louder, or see if I can see anything not moving that's supposed to, or the other way around. So this is where we're at. Took the rocker arms out along with the push rods. Checked all springs on both sides. Springs look okay. The keepers are all in there. No cracks or anything. They all moved up and down on the startup. So here's the rocker arms from both sides as well as the push rods. And everything looks great. I'm kind of upset to say that just because I was hoping it would be a push rod because it's an easy fix. These are really cheap. You just drop them in and I can get them local. But unfortunately, everything checks out, looks like it should, which means the heads have to come off. Really didn't want to take the heads off because it's a lot more work. It's a lot more expensive. Having to replace the head bolts and the head gaskets. Manifold has to come off. Intake gaskets, all that. For y'all, it'll be just a second, but for me, it'll probably be tomorrow because it's getting dark. All right, so I'm picking you guys up as we're about to take the passenger side head off. We got the intake off and all the wire and harness mess out of the way. Just wanted to point this out. The head bolts right there, right there, right there. These are all clean, except for that very back one, if you can see it. And I did have a small oil leak from this side. By small, I mean very, very big. You can see down there, it's on the side of the oil pan. And I hate to say it, but all the things that these old guys say is right. All the motor oil has gathered in the back of this head. And it's not good, because when it gathers back there, it leaks out the bottom. And that's with this truck being about a 2 or 3 inch difference from front to rear. So I couldn't imagine some of these guys that have, 10 or more inches.
What did he say?
So we're taking off the passenger side head first and hoping that it might be a lifter in there that just wasn't getting enough oil because of that leak, and hoping for the best. If we take both heads off and it's not lifters, that might be where we end the video, because it's gonna be something bottom end, and then it's gonna get a whole lot more expensive. All right, and about a gallon of coolant on the ground later, I've been using Austin's wheels to stand on. Thanks, bud. We got the passenger side head off. That is coolant. There wasn't coolant in the pistons. That's what spilled over, and that's where it caught up. We're gonna take the lifters out, and honestly, I'm hoping that there is a problem with the lifters, because that's the cheapest option. Once we're this far in, I can swap them out, new head gasket, and put everything back together. So let's hope that the lifters are bad. First, we're gonna take this head gasket off. It's trash, can't reuse that anyways. Which kind of kills me, because it's only about 2 years old. 8 or 10 millimeter, right there, and there's a lifter in each one of these little trays, and hope one is broke. Oh, well, they all stayed in the engine, except maybe this one. Let's see. There's one right there that'll focus. There it is. That looks to be in great shape, which is good, I guess. Good and bad. I'm gonna dig the rest of these out of here, and I will catch up with y'all when we get them all out. All right, so a little update, as I was afraid of. Every lifter on this passenger side head looks like it's brand new, aside from a little bit of oil on it. Truck is still peeing coolant, because I just took apart the driver's side head, got the manifold off, or long tubes, and got all the head bolts out. And it's time to take this driver's side head off. The sound was a little bit louder on the driver's side the more I was thinking about it. So we're hoping that it's a lifter in the driver's side. If it's not, then the block definitely has to come out. I do have a spare in the garage. I'm just not really financially ready to build it, so we'll just have to see where it goes. All right, guys, it's getting dark on me. Before we end this video off, I just wanted to show y'all where we're leaving this thing off at, the progress we made and stuff, and what comes next. So obviously we did get both heads off. The valves in here look good. If it'll focus, there we go. But all the valves look good. The pistons look good. They weren't scarred or anything. They're a little bit dirty just from the carbon buildup, or whatever they call it, emissions. I can't remember if I went over all the lifters, but they're all in great shape. They all look really, honestly, they look brand new. And manifolds off, long tubes, whatever. We've made an absolute mess out of the driveway. Got tools everywhere, but this is what is left. Only thing left in here is the bottom end of the motor, and then, accessories, pulleys, water pump stuff. And I really don't know where we're gonna go from here, because I don't know what the problem is. I was hoping at the beginning of this video that the problem would be a bent push rod, because it's cheap, it'd be an easy fix and get it back on the road really fast. But if it wasn't a push rod, I was hoping it'd be a lifter. Lifters are known for going bad on these trucks all the time. Here in a minute off camera, I'm gonna go over everything one more time, just make sure I didn't overlook anything while I was trying to film. But assuming that I didn't miss anything, and that the problem is in the bottom end of this motor, we do have to take the bottom end out. Whole front end's gonna come off, and I guess we'll put the bottom on an engine stand, ship it off to a machine shop, and have everything done. So this is gonna take a minute, gonna take some time, it's gonna take some money, but we're all gonna do it right here. And before we end this off, I wanna say thank you for 13K. Y'all been killing the subscribe button. If you are new, please subscribe, like, comment. I wanna give another quick shout out to LGBillet for sending that hood release out. Gonna be using it a whole lot more, popping this hood to do all this motor work. And we've got a lot more work to do on this white truck, which means a whole lot more content coming for y'all. So if you do like it, make sure you subscribe. Y'all like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, what you'd like to see, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Before I go, I do want to give another quick shout out to... I just said...